a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show, and Happy New Year, everybody. This is the first show of the year. We're going to get it started. From Pixels to Performance, a developer's journey with Kevin Kappenman, and I cannot wait to get started, but let's pay the bills first. If you've been sleeping under a rock and you haven't bought Sell a Million, you need to buy Sell a Million. It's a marketing and a business book. Sounds like a sales book, but it's not. The best compliment I've ever gotten on this is from my friend Doug Stewart. Take the word furniture or mattress out. It's just a great marketing and a great business book. So thank you for that, Doug, and good luck with your new store. That's timely. And if you want a sales book, I've got a sales book for you guys. And really, I'll give you a little inside baseball on this sales book, but let me tell you what it'll do for you first. If you have a weekly meeting that you need to prepare for, it's done for you. There's 300 of them in here, like 3 years worth, not 300, 3 years worth. So it's already done for you. Little chapters, you do a half a chapter, you use the QR codes. And this isn't just my experience in retail. This is Scott Vaughn and Brent Batterman and Chris Tahaney, Jeff Janakovo, Justin Trumbo, Mark Klingenberg, Randy Thompson, Keith Cassinguy, Mel Opp, and Steve Carnes, the head of sales for BIA. Guys, it's like $20 on Amazon. Grab one. And guys, really want you to hit me up at Market. I would love to sign your book at Market, and also answer any questions that you have. And no agenda, just two guys or a guy and a gal sitting down talking about their business, and me helping you with your business with absolutely no agenda. Speaking of which, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Greg, for sponsoring the show. If you guys do not belong to the Mattress Industry Network group, you need to. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in today's ever-changing mattress business, this is the group for you. It's, I believe, over 2,800 strong right now, completely free. Just hit that QR code and join us. I've got to tell you, it's a great group. Everybody's in here, from fellow store owners to sales pros that work the retail floor, to sales managers, VPs of sales, owners of manufacturing companies. Everybody's in here. It's a great place for you to network. You don't need to be in business by yourself. Hit that QR code right there and join the group. It's 100% free. And it's just a great group. I get in there often, and I would love to see you guys in our group. So without a further ado, oh, yes, thank you. You caught me. My dear friend, Chris Tahaney, is doing something really special for this industry. He is elevating the industry. He wants to tell your stories, how you as a sales pro change somebody's life. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You don't have to write Gone with the Wind. All you need to do is email it over to Chris at mattressrsastories@gmail.com with a picture. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about spelling or structure. Chris will polish it up. Chris is a great writer, by the way. A lot of you don't know that. I do know that. He wrote 2 chapters in my book, and he is an excellent writer. He'll polish it up. He'll send it back to you. And listen, if you guys have, as a store owner, you have an RSA who's just too shy, but you think his story is compelling, his or her story is compelling, send it in on their behalf. Do it. We'll get permission from them before we publish it. But this is a great opportunity to help elevate the industry. I hope you all get behind this. I've read some of the stories that Chris has already, and they're great stories. They really are. I would encourage everybody to get on this and help make your sales pros the superstars that they are, and let them, get their stories out there so that other people can understand and realize what this industry is all about. It's about changing lives for our end customer. And let's share those stories and let's elevate this industry together. Without a further ado, welcome, Kevin.
Hey.
How you
Thanks for
doing?
having me, Pete. First show of 26.
Yeah, the first show of 26.
Right on.
So, guys, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit because I barely know Kevin. Me and Kevin met each other at an industry event, and we've kind of stayed in touch. I've been trying to get him to come on the show, and he's just running around like a crazy guy. So, Kevin, what interests me the most about you is the fact that you started your career in retail. So I'd like you to tell us a little bit about that first.
Yeah. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. So I cut my teeth back at good old Sears Roebuck on the furniture side back in the days of Sears Home Life. So Sears Home Life was coming up to the Seattle market, and I wanted to have a chance to work my way up through management. And so I moved to Las Vegas for a year to get on with Sears, and really discovered a love that I had for the bedding industry. And so when the opportunity came up, when they opened the stores in the Seattle market, I went back up and worked my way up and through and ran some of their largest bedding departments, good old Department 82 for anybody that's ex-Sears out there. So, obviously there had a limited shelf life to Sears Home Life. Sears, like so many retailers, kind of entered the long, slow death spiral. And I think Sears right now is just finishing with its last location or two. But, I went on to stay in the bedding industry. I worked at Sears for about 6-7 years, went on to be a general manager running people's family-owned branded companies for both Lazy Boy and Thomasville. And then the opportunity presented itself to go work for Serta out of the Seattle plant on the wholesale side. So I did my deep dive, worked out of the Seattle plant. I covered Montana and Western Washington. And it was at that point that, I was paying attention to my job. I was opening up new accounts, servicing my dealers. But I began to fill my mind with a lot of ideas and things that could possibly be worked into the mattress industry as either components inside of a bed or higher level retail experiences.
So I cut my teeth at Serta as well. I was 9 years in retail, and then I jumped in with both feet with Serta. And it's very interesting when you start on the other side, and your curiosity. I mean, no matter what our experience is in retail, it's limited, right? The very first store that I went to when I was a Serta rep was a house, and it was 2 spare bedrooms, was the actual showroom that we had 3 twins in each room. So I had a 6 SKU lineup in somebody's house. Like in my world that I came from, I worked on big retail floors for the time, and I worked for the market leader, Kronheim's Furniture in Cleveland, Ohio at the
Okay.
time. And
Very
I
cool.
thought every store was going to be like that. And so, I had my tie on, I had my suit coat on, and I learned pretty quick, most of these dealers, unless I'm brand new, I don't need to be wearing a tie. And I learned that there was a wide range of retailers. And I had this thing in my mind that every store was going to be like Kronheim's Furniture, and it wasn't. And so, did you experience a little bit of that too?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So, for its faults, there's a lot of things that Sears did right. Uh,
Sure.
Among them, not just having the stores, but a lot of marketing and print support, media, etc. But when I went to go work for CERTA, especially calling on Montana, actually, I remember driving for endless hours to basically a general store. And it wasn't quite 6 twin mattresses, but it wasn't far behind it. But I'm pretty sure you could buy fertilizer and farm implements and quite a few other things out in this rural store. Now, that being said, there were also some beautiful legacy furniture stores there, family owned. Even, I'd venture to say that there's probably more freestanding, strong legacy furniture retailers in Montana than a place like Seattle, because they own the property and their legacy has been built, and they've set it up for generational transitions. So it was a treat. It was actually, in some ways, it was like going into a time machine 20 years back when I toured through Montana servicing my accounts, because it was the way I remembered things back. I was born in 71, but I remember retail in the 80s. And by the 90s, things had really, changed in the Seattle market, and the independents began to go away. So
That's awesome. I had a general store too. I
Okay.
did not, nobody warned me it's a general store.
Okay.
And I took a step in
Okay.
and I took a step out.
Yeah.
I looked at the address, and the guy comes out and he goes, "Are you looking for the general store?"
Okay.
I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, my name's Jeff." "Well, I'm Pete." I go, "Do you really sell our mattresses?" Because I didn't see any mattresses when I walked in. He goes, "Yeah, they're downstairs. You come on in. Let me show you." We
Okay.
became great friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
We made a few moves here and there.
Okay.
That really increased his business dramatically, and
Cool.
consider him a friend for life. And uh, to me, it really is a treat to see all these different stores, right?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. One of the wildest experiences I had was in Missoula. The Macy's mattress department was in an upper floor, and they had left the raw brick exposed. And I was in the department doing some training, and I was complimenting them. I'm like, companies pay millions of dollars for build outs that look like this, but this is the real deal. This is 100-year-old brick. They're like, "You haven't seen anything. Let's take you to the basement." So on the break, the mattress salesperson took me through a very modern looking Macy's store. And then in the men's department, we opened one of those nondescript Formica covered wall panels, and the door opened, and it all of a sudden smelled like an antique store. And you stepped onto a creaky set of stairs that went to the basement. And I'll keep this short, but you get to the bottom of the basement stairs, and there was a round post that, over the 140 years of that building being there, 140 plus, people grabbing that knob and turning off the stairs, that knob was shaped like this. And on the side of that stairwell, talking about the general store, were the words written in chalk: hemp, sisal, and hard twist. It was where they hang the rope samples back in the Montana mercantile days, which is what that building was, the Missoula Mercantile. So pretty cool. Wow. So yeah, a retail, past, future, old department store stories. People that are on the road with the mattress business get to really enjoy a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, and you want to know? Here's a little fun fact about this show. We probably have as many reps and sales executives as we do store owners, which is I never expected it, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody, we are live. So if you guys have a question for Kevin,
Yeah.
just ask, and we will put it up to the top of the list, and Kevin will answer it for you. So Kevin, like, you're in sales, like you're a sales guy, you're a furniture guy, you're a mattress guy,
Yep.
and you end up being a developer.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never known anyone to make that
Yeah.
leap.
Yeah.
And so, but I know from our brief conversations that we've had together that something that's really near and dear to your heart that you've always been about is about the customer experience, right?
Yeah. 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 So, the 08, 09 recession took me out of CERTA, and I went on to work for one of my larger accounts, opening locations. They were pre-acquisitions, so you know how those things go. We open a lot of stores awfully quickly. But then I went on to own my own small store in South Seattle, and a lot of hard work, 7-day weeks, like the typical story. About 4 or 5 days off a year. And I thought back to my CERTA days, and I had a chance. I was there pre-iComfort, but I saw them go through some development cycles of product, and I began to think about, okay, I'm in my 40s. What do I want to do when I grow up? And I was fascinated with not only the development process, but where these things came from and what was the thought process behind it. And then I began to figure out, what could my role be? And I quickly realized that we are an industry that is starving for new things. And that's okay. That hunger for new things drives innovation. Everybody's constantly on the prowl. And the other thing that I realized, though, is that these folks working for either these mattress brands or mattress manufacturers or mattress suppliers, they were working on very, very short timelines. From my own personal experience on creating IP and going through the patent processes and that whole development, those are some long arcing timelines. And so in a lot of cases, there'll be regime changes in these companies, and some of these longer ranging projects. I mean, it very well could be that the things that I've worked on have been worked on by other companies, but because of changes in ownership, private equity coming in, cost cutting, et cetera, a lot of things didn't make it to market. So one of the things that I wanted to do as we learn to create things was come up with what it is that you're striving for. So in the mattress industry, we think of mattresses, you look at every cutaway and it's a stack of things. Okay. And I don't have the means to become a coil developer. I don't have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to design new coil machines. And I'm not a fabric guy, and I'm not a top-of-bed guy. But what I figured out is that there was a lot of opportunity in the middle of the mattress, and specifically doing things like manipulating ILDs and manipulating the shape of support inside of mattresses. And so I just started filling my notebook. All kinds of things, all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of ideas. Some of them were drawings. Some of them were as simple as a few words. So I'm going to give everybody something. It's free. You can thank me if you come up with something good because of it. But there's 2 holy grail mattresses out there that we're all striving to create. And so if you've got something very special, you can create a soft mattress that supports, or a firm mattress that still contours and shapes. And most mattresses end up somewhere in between the 2 of those, and sometimes not doing either of them very well. But those were really my 2 guiding principles: is can I figure out how to create soft beds that support and firm beds that contour and shape? So, because we're dealing with planes of support, and let me grab a visual model here real quick. Sorry about that. Because we're dealing with planes of support, ideally, this is, the human form. And if we go too firm, what ends up happening is we shove the hips forward, and that's surface firmness or support from the bottom that's crept to the top. And then if we have something that is not supportive and is quote unquote too soft, that person falls into the hammock. So I've developed quite a number of properties, quite a number of different things to go into the mattresses that manipulate high ILD foam. So we break the shear. So think of usually if you have a plank of very, very firm foam, yes, it's going to be supportive, but what's probably going to happen is it's going to arc and it's going to bowl, especially if it gets under a much heavier person, like say north of like 225 to 250. So through trial and error, one of my first patents was to develop a patented layer where we use alternating cuts in the foam. And what ends up happening is that the high ILD foam still compresses the same way, but it has the ability to contour and shape. So you can take an absolute plank of foam, like a 40 to 50 ILD, and it still contours and shapes. Absolutely unique feel. So those were the two kind of grails that I had in mind, was create things that are soft beds that are still supportive, or firm beds that contour and shape, because those are the two hardest things. Usually we're working in essentially two dimensionals from top to bottom or bottom to top, and we just hope that the person laying down on the bed is perfectly aligned. So I like to think that I came up with some cheat codes.
So Kevin, just for our newbies that are, new to the industry, they don't really understand ILD. Do you want to go over that real quickly, just at a very beginning level, so that they understand the numbering system for ILDs?
So foams are basically measured as their ability to resist compression. And so in resisting compression, factories and suppliers will have apparatus where they push into the foam and they measure the level of support resistance. But keep in mind, a piece of foam is a flat plane, and so the human body is not flat. And so, my whole thing is manipulating some of the firmer foams so that they contour and shape, or introducing support into the softer foams that they shape. But specifically to the ILD question, foams are generally rated by levels of firmness. It's an industry standard. And if somebody calls out from across the room, hey, that bed's got a 28 ILD, or it's got a 35 ILD, or a 12 ILD, anybody who's on the manufacturing side will have an idea in their head of just how firm, if you will, that foam is.
So 12 is really soft.
Yep.
40 and 50 is really, really firm.
Yep.
So that's kind of how the number, it's really a measurement of how much weight it takes to compress it X amount.
Yep.
So I just wanted everybody to have that. If you're brand new to the industry, I didn't want you to get lost in that.
Yeah.
Chris Tahaney.
Hey,
Always
Chris.
great to see Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
What's going on, man?
A few tools promise better mattress matching. From your perspective, what problems are retailers still getting wrong in the sleep fitting process, even with the aid of these tools? And how does technology actually change behavior on the sale floor, not just add another step? Boy, is that a great question. Thank you.
Chris comes out of the gate.
Yeah, Tahaney's in the house, man.
Yeah, man, we didn't even get to SCANFIT, and he's already jumping ahead. Chris is quicker than the rest of the kids. So, so to jump ahead, so you can have all the tools in the world, and the challenge that we're faced with my system that we're going to talk about, SCANFIT, and maybe, some of the others, is we don't want it to just be entertainment. We want it to be a fully engaged process. So it's not so much the tool. You lean into the tool. The tool does a lot of things to bring people through the door, to add credibility to the conversation, and to engage the customer on a different plane than what can be achieved online. But unless you're fully using the system, it's just a toy. So the whole idea is that we need our presentations, without becoming overly wordy and without becoming overly intrusive, and honoring the 10-4 rules and all those kinds of things. How do we make the mattress selection prescriptive? And in a world of and I'm just going to go there, nondescript, multi-consonant, unknown brands on Amazon and others, we need to convince that customer to step up and have them feel the value of a higher quality support and denser, higher quality foams. So that customer will come through the door with a preconception of how they're going to shop. Many times these days it involves endless scrolling of other people's opinions that aren't necessarily long-term satisfaction. They're an initial reaction to a new mattress. And then it's also them, many times, unless we interrupt the process, they'll cubbyhole themselves. They'll predetermine a price level. And oftentimes with your better customers, Costco is a benchmark. And not a knock against Costco, but their mattresses are tuned to a certain price and a certain return rate. And so as an independent retailer or as a full-scale furniture store with a mattress department or a independent mattress retailer chain, it's our job to package up more of an experience. It's our job to become more prescriptive and engaging without becoming intrusive. And it's to offer, when that customer comes through the door, we need to delight their senses with a bright, inviting environment, a pulley, not pushy sales atmosphere, and one or two little things that set ourselves apart from the crowd.
Something that just popped into my head is, when we kind of let our hair down, us guys that have been in the industry for a long time, what little hair we have left, we often talk about our retailers' frustration with the phony review sites. It's always something that's lurking. And if you want to beat phony review sites, this is a way to do it, because it doesn't matter. A review for somebody else, it doesn't matter. You have your own body, Mrs. Jones. You have your own body, and we have something that will help prescribe the correct mattress for you.
Yeah.
And to me, this is the phony review buster of them all.
So do you want me to give you the elevator pitch on SCANFIT then?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I'm
we'll
begging
jump to
you.
SCANFIT. All right, we're going nuclear here. We were going to save it for the second half, but so here's SCANFIT. So many of the most successful retailers in the United States, including the retailer that I was so fortunate to work for as I made my transition. I cashed out my store in Seattle, moved to Southern California. The last 10 years have done IP. But my day job, I guess I'm the Batman. My day job is I had the opportunity to work for Larry Miller and Nelson Bercier at Sit and Sleep. And it was a privilege. And they use a version of pressure mapping that's brand specific. And I was able to see the effectiveness. 10 years ago, when I first came to work for them, I saw this system. And initially, I would have customers stiff arm me coming through the door. Probably only half the people wanted to participate and use this mattress fitting system that they had. Now, 10 years later, even the 80-year-olds coming through the door that now carry an iPhone, they'll point and they'll say, I want to do the thing, I want to do the thing. So what I have done is over the last 6 or 7 years, I have taken what is known in the pressure mapping arena, if you will, or the pressure mapping technology, and brought it light years forward to current modern 3D scanning. And so when you look at what we're doing with SCANFIT.ai, we have an absolute 100% customer facing technology that's easy, it's fun, it's engaging. It actually gathers on a couple 30 points of data, everything from sleep position to areas of pain and discomfort, to recommending an actual level of support based on their calculated pressures. So on the screen, Pete has put up basically our process with the app. We're working with a partner, SizeStream out of North Carolina, and SizeStream is the industry leader in 3D avatar creation. So they have applications for tracking fitness as well as creating custom clothing and measuring for clothing. And this is how accurate their 3D models are. So in a matter of seconds, we're able to actually synthesize from 2 pictures a model that is 99% accurate and naked. So, you know, that's part 2 of the 3D scanning game is you've got to take the clothes off. And if you look at this model that I have here, it is crazy accurate. And so what my programming team has done is taken the model development kit from SciStream, and then we put our tech stack on top of it. And we're actually running a full simulation. I know every inch, and I could even be more accurate than that. I know at every inch benchmark from the base of their neck to the bottom of their backside, how much pressure is being calculated. Additionally, I have a full topographic study. I know how far apart the lumbar and the back of the backside is. And so we kind of mix all of these things into our algorithm. And what we come up with after a very fun and interactive process is a selling dashboard that is handed off to the sales staff. And this is not, there we go. This is not designed to take the place of the salesperson. This is in a world of AI where we have personal assistants. This is the personal assistant to the salesperson. It makes them more efficient. I myself, having worked on the floor, even with that other system, all it does is hands off a level of support. It doesn't give me the brass tacks as far as all of the other information. So what we do is our entire application runs on an iPad, which is provided to the dealer at no charge. And then from there, the selling dashboard is created. And the salespeople can take the iPad. If it's a quiet, one salesperson store, they can take this iPad with them. Or we have the ability to hand off the selling dashboard to their personal selling iPad. But what we've done is basically we're a full service company. SCANFIT.ai is a retail experience company. We're not an equipment sales company. We are a retail experience company. Our goal is to have an affiliate network of about 24 important retailers across the United States. Average size of anywhere from 10 to 50 stores. We're definitely a multi-unit retail service company. And so we give a reason. There's 5 points to the customer journey, and we address all of them, from acquisition, bringing that customer into the door. Fuad, hey, how's it going, man? Houston, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Houston.
We are at Best Mattress in Las Vegas. We have rolled out to their 18 stores with David Mizrahi and Joe Graziano, and they are kicking butt and doing wonderfully well. They were literally the perfect launch partner. So Fawad, I'll catch up with you. But really this whole system, when we talk, hey, Andrew, how's it going? Yes. Come see me at market, or I'll come see you, buddy. 5 points to the customer journey. Acquisition. We get the customer in the door. We give you something different to interrupt the scroll. Okay. This is not an online app. I control the IP, and if somebody's going to do something online, it has to go through me, and it's retail first. So we're going to acquire them. The customer comes through the door. We're going to engage them. Today's customers, if you go out and get fit for golf clubs, if you go out and get fit for running shoes, if you go out and get fit for any major investment, even office furniture, the high end is fitting you. So we're going to acquire that customer. We're going to engage them when they come through the door with a fun, interactive process. Highly social media friendly. You can actually do a dance routine with SCANFIT. And I expect that I'll be able to have that up on my website soon. So we acquire, we engage, we convert. So, I can be the most charming sales associate, sleep consultant, whatever we want to call me, but some people may not like me. And it's amazing how much customers will lean into that third-party neutral opinion of what the correct level of support is. So when we look at the results from SCANFIT, we don't just measure the customer. We come into your busiest showroom and measure your shop-worn floor samples. We don't measure new mattresses. We measure shop-worn floor samples, so we have a real idea of what the performance of that mattress is. Because people know that we're doing these things, because we have that, what I call that special knowledge They're not going to be able to get that special knowledge anywhere other than in your retail store. So it doesn't matter how many reviews they read online. They do not know what their support requirements are. They know what top feels are, and some of the biggest retailers in the U.S. are still using the shove it down on the top technique of mattress selection. But what we do is a bottom up. If we get it right from the bottom up, the customer can have whatever feel they want on the top. So to finish the 5, we help acquire, we help engage, we help convert or close. We help retain the customer. So if we can turn the knob down on comfort exchanges because that customer is more confident in their decision because of the technology, it's a win. And then finally, referrals. Word spreads quick. And in my experience, again, with working at Sit and Sleep, great system. And many people recommending their friends to come in and use that system. I don't have any input otherwise than that it works. The systems work out there. If you're a multi-unit retailer and you're not considering SCANFIT, run out and grab one of the other systems because they make a difference in a crowded marketplace.
Patrick Tinney. Kevin, I am a prolific product developed person. What was it like building your first business case for your company to see future profitability? Wow, that's a loaded question.
Wow. Okay.
That's a big question.
All right. So
thank you, Patrick.
So Patrick, it's there were many things before SCANFIT. SCANFIT was actually a happy accident. So there was a product called Body Orthotic. And Body Orthotic was a manipulation of ILD. And the I'm gonna get to your question. There's gonna be a 30-second story, then I'm gonna get to your question. So the manipulation of the ILD with Body Orthotic was based on body shape. And so that's when I first started talking to SizeStream in North Carolina about their 3D processes. One store with that system, originally we were using LiDAR. Think about how Tesla was originally driving the self-driving. It was LiDAR. It was a $30,000 booth. We now run on a $300 iPad. So my businesses, my patents, my IP are all privately held. I have had the privilege and honor of working for the best mattress retailer out there, in my opinion, Sit and Sleep, as my day job, and with Larry and Nelson's full support, which says a lot to their character. So profitability, I looked at it as my main goal was to come out of the chutes at break even. There's been a significant back-end investment. I kind of sort of cooked up all my retirement plans. So all of my retirement is in my IP, so it damn well better work at this point. But my IP, thank God, patents are for 20 years because some of this stuff I'm going to be busy and won't be able to get to for the next year or two. But to answer your question, I haven't been focused on profitability. SCANFIT has launched at break even. I am not a debt-ridden company. I do not have outside investors. I could have launched this product 2 to 3 years ago. The downfall would be is it took more time to process, and it's not a fault of my partners. They're literally launching rocket ships in 30 seconds or less. We're creating 100,000 point models, 3D models, and then my tech stack, shout out to my programming team, we're running full simulations of the body against a mattress. So I guess the answer is it wasn't so much profitability as getting to break even. And then from here on out, yeah, there'll be some profit at some point in the next year or so, but at least I'm just thankful for my launch partner, Best Mattress, and I'm very thankful to have been able to take the time to launch at break even.
Chris, can you pull up Fawad's comment? I want to read it for those people that are on audio. Fawad Safari from Houston, Texas. Kevin, are you in any retail location yet? A year and a half ago when we spoke, you weren't quite ready.
Yeah. So I've had, and I'm thankful for this. I've had about 36 inquiries. The whole time, staying in touch with those folks and continuing to improve the product. So the first thing that was necessary was to come up with my ideal launch partner. My ideal launch partner would be big enough to be important, big enough to break the system if there were problems with it. And so I was fortunate enough to first be speaking with Mr. Mizrahi, David Mizrahi, that owns Best Mattress in Las Vegas. And then Joe Graziano is their chief operating officer, and I had a relationship with him from the industry. And so we put the units in 6 weeks ago. We turned them on officially 4 weeks ago. And my crack programming team, we've already, the system was good. We've made the system great in the last couple of weeks. I have a programming team based out of Ukraine. Shout out to Roman, my lead programmer, Alina, my interface app designer, Victoria, the project manager, and Vladimir, who I think I only have to talk to Vladimir if I don't pay my bill with them. But I have an awesome programming team. We're in a state of continuous improvement, agile improvement. We have had little fixes and enhancements turned around in less than 48 hours on a couple of different occasions. And so to answer your question, our launch partner is Best Mattress in Las Vegas. And we turned the whole system on fully a month ago. We put the units in about 6 weeks ago. Few more little fine tunings. I had to go out and we've got, I saw a better pedestal, if you will, to put the iPads on. So we went ahead and invested in those, and those will be in the stores pre-market, and I'll have that in the South Bay space. There's my infomercial. I'll be hanging out with South Bay International with Toby and Jim Nation and Edgar at Market. So anyway, we're out there. We're in the wild. I have 2 launch candidates for 2026. I'm in final negotiations with them. I don't know if both are going to go forward or one will go forward. So certainly, Fawad, if you're interested, we are looking for partners with around 10 locations or more, and it's a compelling partnership. I really look at myself as a partner with your business, and I know that sounds a bit cliche these days, but you know, if you talk to the folks at Best, my sleeves are rolled up. I know their sales staff. I'm on their sales floors. And it's a partnership, and we have the ability to tailor the system. So on a 10 location retail setup, it's roughly $379 a month, but no equipment costs, and we can co-op it and brand it. So for example, if you have a primary brand on your floor and they want to get in on it, and I recommend that they do, we can brand the application so that it's sponsored and featured by. We run it. If you put a booth on your floor, we have a TV screen that I update and run teaser screens with animations, and we can give them shout outs on that. So we can make it a genuine co-op expense at around $180 for the retailer per month and $180 for the manufacturer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it kicks butt, man.
So, you know, Kevin, when I ran into you, I was kind of curious about what you were doing, and you actually, you know, scanned me. And what I was shocked about was it didn't take very long at all. It was very quick. So can you talk about what the experience is like for a retail consumer?
Yeah. In fact, I recorded myself in the space here. I can just give everybody a quick teaser of what the app looks like. This is what it looks like, or a previous version looks like running.
Okay.
How do I run the video? Are we up and running? Oh.
Question. Please give us a few.
Okay.
Are you selecting a mattress for just yourself? To help us get started, please answer a few basic questions. Please give us a few.
And again, we've enhanced since this, so we've updated the icons, we've changed the voice, the verbiage a little bit. We did do some fine tuning for Best Mattress, and we essentially private labeled it Best Fit for them. So this is the scanning process here. This is me. So there's 2 poses, and the system automatically senses it.
Move forward to stand with your feet in the foot guide.
So you'd be in a booth or against a backdrop. Now, if you look, it's tracking me in real time. And as soon as I hit the 2 poses, it immediately gathers the image. The important thing is that the image is not actually a picture. It's a high resolution silhouette.
Wow.
So it's a black and white silhouette that it's gathering.
Please stand still and look straight ahead, not at the screen. Well done. Your body scan is complete. All right. Your scan is now complete.
So
Let's answer.
this is where we gather the intellect for the salesperson.
Do you read, watch television?
So adjustable base questions, areas of pain and discomfort. And if you look, we actually tap the model where the pain is. And then I'm kind of flying through this, but it's health and wellness issues that affect the quality of sleep that can be addressed with an adjustable base. And so I flew through it. The actual processing time is about 30 seconds. And so the results will come up here in a second. And again, what we're doing, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're giving a recommended level of support. We come in, we measure all of your mattresses. We give a level of support. And this lines up exactly, with where my support would be in other systems. Now, we've actually changed. This is for a very, very large floor with 5 levels of support. But at best, we went ahead and went to 3 levels of support. So, I mean, it's very fast and frictionless. And when the customer sees this kind of technology in the store, they know that they're at somewhere special, somebody that's taking an extra step to make sure they get the right mattress. The other thing that it does is it gives that, especially that newer or less experienced person, all the confidence in the world to walk over to the very best beds with zero hesitation, because after all, that's the level of support that's recommended. So why don't we start here, as opposed to path of least resistance, which is going to, the triple choice special, which nobody should have on their floor these days, or some of the low price ad offerings.
That's awesome. It just brought me back in time when we met. Tony Campos has a question. Tried talking to Kevin, but didn't seem there was a good fit as we didn't have enough locations.
Yeah. So I'm in conversations with a couple of the major brands, Tony, because of the level of service. Yeah, I right now we're working with dealers with multiple locations. 1 and possibly 2 of the brands are looking at doing a private label offering of SCANFIT, and that would be a situation that might work out really well. Reach out to me on the SCANFIT.ai website, and I'll get a hold of you. We could do a call or exchange some messages. So never say never. Likely wouldn't be in the next 6 to 9 months, but within 12 months we may have an offering through one of the major brands where we could bring SCANFIT technology through the door. I anticipate that this is right now what we're doing is the full version. But I anticipate maybe some simplified versions in the future that could be brand specific.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
And man, oh man, did this go fast, Kevin.
We didn't even talk about carbon fiber.
Let's talk about carbon fiber.
Yeah.
I need educated on this.
So, actually, my lead into the product journey was 15 years ago, trying to figure out how to put carbon fiber into a mattress. And obviously, we've seen the industry use carbon, graphite, etc., as a foam additive. Nobody has come up with an actual carbon fiber support. And so originally, if we go back in the timeline like 15 years ago, think about like a hard-boiled egg slicer, how it has that aluminum tray that's kind of shaped to the egg. And when you slice the egg doesn't crush because it's fully supported to the shape of the egg. And I saw that tray and I'm like, why can't we put that in a mattress? So the crazy thing is that carbon fiber 15 years ago was not inexpensive. And to create this tray, 2 challenges. One, it was around $800 to the manufacturer, so God knows what it would be at retail. So not competitive. Second thing is about 15 years ago, adjustable bases started taking off, and the original version of this, there's no way you could put it on an adjustable base. So 6-7 years ago, I dusted off the carbon fiber, and by that point, drone technology had taken off and people were building drones on their own. And a lot of people think of carbon fiber, they think of like the woven carbon fiber for like car fenders. The other variation is what's called pultruded or unidirectional carbon fiber. And it's essentially a spring that doesn't wear out. So when we think of like an archery bow, they make that out of pultruded or unidirectional carbon fiber. They'll flex that bow to 80% of maximum flex over 1 million times with no degradation. So what I came up with is basically an embedded carbon fiber system that uses 24 carbon fiber support elements against a deflective carbon fiber, and then it's in a fabric assembly that helps it disperse pressures as well as conform and lift to the lumbar. So the crazy thing is this holds to my original theme of coming up with things that go in the middle of mattresses to affect alignment and support. Not top feels, not bottom supports, but things in the middle. At the last market, we had folks anywhere from 100 pounds to 300 pounds lay on the carbon fiber mattress Arc Lift in the South Bay showroom. And it actually supported everybody. The carbon fiber is designed, essentially to shape to the form of the back, and that shaping and forming to the back is universal. So it actually allows you, it kind of breaks the rules of SCANFIT, but it lets you choose a mattress based on top feel because the support is going to support everyone. People say, well, isn't the mattress going to last forever? Well, the support will last a good long time. I just say that the support will outlast the comfort layers at the top. Really, the goal here is a unique conforming support. It's a lot like a ribbed back brace, except inside of the mattress. And, for example, Mark Kinsley and Tara Kinsley came into the showroom and did a little shout out last market. And Tara's a small gal. I don't want to throw weights out, but I have an idea. She's a small gal. She laid down on it, and even somebody as small as her felt that conforming support inside of the mattress. So it truly is the industry's first carbon fiber support. It's not carbon fiber dust in the foam. And so, just an absolutely unique support structure. It's right now we have a partnership with South Bay International, and we are showing a production model in the showroom this market. So I invite everybody to come in and see me, give me a shout out, get a hold of me through the SCANFIT.ai website or through LinkedIn. I try to post at least once a week on LinkedIn. Everybody seems to know where to find me on there. That's my low cost, no cost marketing, build the awareness, create the curiosity. It's a lot like marketing mattresses.
So Kevin, Becky Woolman, Becky asks or says that body scanning video is pretty awesome. I'm actually from Mount Vernon, Washington originally.
Okay. Cool.
Now live in Somerset, Kentucky. Hello from Brad and Becky. Hello, Brad. Hello,
hey,
Becky.
Guys. Yeah. Hey, thanks for jumping in. And it's only gotten better. And that leads. Thank you, Becky. That leads to another thing that originally the window dressing around SCANFIT was much more digital and a little more what I call Star Trek-y. We've actually smoothed it out from the beta testing and the customer feedback and me showing it around to my industry friends. It is not a scary thing. So if you jump on the SCANFIT.ai website, you can get a little bit better idea about it. And it is not digital for the sake of digital. It's digital because it's the best technology available. And it's fun and engaging, and it really sets your store apart in a very crowded marketplace. So it is a very, very digital product. We are running simulations, but it's not scary. And everybody today has 1 million apps on their phone. They're just used to it. In fact, my technology partner, SciStream, if you download the Me 360 app, that's their fitness tracking app. You can actually scan yourself once a week and track your fitness progress throughout the new year. So I'm telling everybody, download Me 360 off the App Store. Doesn't matter if you have an iPhone or a Android. And that technology is the heart of SCANFIT.ai.
Yeah, that is awesome that your partner's SciStream is already into the fitness and already into clothing. And some of those, I mean, what they're able to do with clothing today in terms of customization with a scan is amazing.
All of this came from the clothing technology. Their parent company, I believe, is heavily involved in the clothing industry. Their CEO is Jay Redmond, and their I don't know if he's the chief technology officer or just the brains, David Bruner. They have been incredible. They have patiently waited for me to get this thing launched. We fully partnered about 4 years ago, and I said, it's coming, guys. It has to be right, though. I didn't want to launch and fall flat on my face. So shout out to Jay and David for their patience as we got this thing off the ground. It's an incredible partnership. The power of what they're doing. Well, I mean, it's the same thing. Tesla is driving cars down the freeway at 80 miles an hour with high resolution cameras. What SizeStream is doing is essentially on par with that. And again, we're not taking pictures of the customer. If you go on the website, there's that outline. We're creating 3D avatars that go to North Carolina. And while we gather the rest of the mattress selling intellect, those 30 points of knowledge, they're creating these crazy accurate 3D models, sending them back down to the iPad in a mattress store. And then we're running a full simulation of surface pressures and body topography. This is some crazy stuff.
That's great. Listen, I am so glad you came on the show, and I am really super sad that we've only got 3 minutes left, dude.
All right, man.
So I got a text.
Yeah.
And it was from Steve Hauk from Boise Mattress, who runs the group, Mattress Industry Network group, among other things. And he said he is a big fan. Give him a shout. He wants to get going.
All right.
So,
Steve, I'll get a hold of you, man.
So can you share with us, do you know off the top of your head South Bay space number for those that are going to market?
Oh gosh. Toby's gonna kill me. Not off the top of my head.
Is it B9? It's
built. Yeah, it's building 2. We're right across from Diamond and down this. Yeah, I think it. I'll double check.
I'm pretty sure it's B9.
I'm not a very good representative. I just know where to go to. So
what days are you going to be there, Kevin?
I'm there. I've got a couple presentations for some brands on Saturday, and then I'll be there from late Saturday afternoon. I've got a few appointments, but I'm there all the way through Wednesday. And I'd love to show everybody SCANFIT, and I'd love to show everybody the Arc Lift support mattress. It's 2 things that you're not going to see anywhere else. And then South Bay has stacked the deck. If you have not been in the South Bay showroom lately, they have all kinds of things going on. They have what I consider to be the first true massage mattress. I mean, this thing is like shiatsu. This is the real deal. And then they did a reticulated foam mattress, a reticulated memory foam that's super breathable called Sofinity. And when you lay down on it and guess the price, there's a disconnect there because there's a ton of value for what they're pushing it out the door to you at.
Krista Price says,
hey, Krista.
This has been amazing. So much great information. Hey, Krista, it's great to see you. And thank you for being here. Anthony Klatt, great show. Anthony, you got to get a new picture because I want you need more color. Cause dude, every time I see you, you are so colorful. Kristen Sugar. I would love to.
Kristen, I'll get together with you. I'll be in the South Bay space too if you go through there, but I'll come see you.
So South Bay space for everybody listening on audio is B662 B962. Compliments of Kristen Sugar.
Thank you, Kristen.
And Kristen,
save my butt.
Can you pull up that other comment from Kristen? Chris, there's like a 10-second lag. Love to meet you in Vegas. Stop by Caraloha in showroom C1566.
I'll come over. Yeah, I got some other stuff over there. I will definitely come see you.
Vernon Williams.
Hey, Vernon.
AKA RJ. What Amazing information. Can't wait to check them out in Vegas with Tara. Tara's going to be in Vegas for the first time. I cannot wait to give her a great big hug. And guys, this was a great show. And Kevin,
Thank you, Pete.
really well done.
Little bit free form. My mind starts entering the mattress matrix. So if we stayed on course, it's a win.
That's what we do. We go off and we come back, and everybody that joined us, Andrew Burt, Fawad Safari, Chris Tahaney, Kristen Sugar, Krista Price, Patrick Tinney, Andy Anderson. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And Steve Hauk, even though you are traveling right now and you're in an airplane, I believe, you were here too. So thank you, Steve.
Baby.
And thank you, Kevin. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you again in Vegas. It'll be the second time meeting you in person.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, just hit the SCANFIT.ai website. You can reach out to me there. LinkedIn is really good too. I usually hit LinkedIn twice a day to check messages. And if you want to get together at Market, I will be in the South Bay showroom, B962. Thank you, Kristen. And I'll have my carbon fiber, the game changer support. This is crazy stuff. You got to at least swing by, flatter me, lay down on it. Tell me what you think.
I'm swinging by. I'm laying down on it. I hope Toby doesn't throw me out, but
yeah.
Or Tommy.
Some
great people over there. I mean, great people. Jim
Nation. I hit the partner jackpot.
Awesome people, really. So thank you, Kevin. And thank you, everybody. Go forward and sell 1 million this week, everybody. Happy New Year.